What's up, everybody? It's Mikhail Casanova coming at you with another episode of Decked Up, a Steam Deck podcast. Uh, so I need to do the transition music better. Uh, Work in progress. Anyways, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's doing good. I know the first time I did my podcast, um, there were audio issues, and it was mainly because I was using a different microphone at the time. I was using frame. I was using this, and I was using the Go XLR. So for those who are listening, if they're wondering what this is, I was using the Rodecaster Pro. So this paired with like the Go XLR, I guess it just wasn't getting enough, like juice. So it just, I don't know, it would cut in and out. And it was odd, and I don't know why I was doing that. So this time around, what I'm using is this is the Neat Mics King B2. So instead of using the Go XLR audio interface, what I'm doing is I'm using the Rode Procaster 2 or Rodecaster Pro 2. Yeah, that's what it's called. Like Rode kind of needs to work on the name conventions because it's like their XLR and USB mic and an audio interface. The names are so interchangeable. But anyways, hopefully everyone's doing good today. Today is I want to say August. It's September 25th, 2022. So it's a couple of things I'm going to be talking about today on this episode of the podcast. And I want to let you guys know I'm going to be doing the podcast. I'm shooting for twice a week. I want to shoot for every single Sunday around 1 p.m. my time, as well as on Thursday, probably Thursday evening, but if not, maybe Thursday afternoon, probably around like 5 or 6 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So all this is going to be Hawaii Standard Time. So that way that you have an idea as like when these episodes are going to come out. But yeah, so if you're looking for like where you can listen to the podcast, I have links down in the description. Uh, if you want the audio version, it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and it's making it's round robining to like all the other platforms as well. So there's that. And I think the other interesting thing is for those who are watching this live, this is the first live stream that I've done from the Gondo. So, that's pretty cool, I would say. Anyways, all that being said, the things we're going to talk about today in today's podcast, I got all the topics written down. So the topics we're going to be talking about, primarily, I'm going to be picking up answering the questions that you guys left me in the first podcast and also pre-podcast. I'm going to be answering a lot of those questions. I'm also going to be talking on tutorials that I'm going to be working on. I'm also going to be touching on the main topic for today is, has OneX, have they oversaturated the mobile gaming PC market? Because there's yet another mobile gaming PC that's out from them. And we're also going to talk about that, which is the OneXFly. And then we've also got Genshin Impact was seen at Tokyo Gameshow running on a SteamDeck at the SteamDeck booth. So what does that mean, And then the last thing I want to talk about is how I've been using the actually it's two additional topics. So second to last is why the Steam Deck preview channel might be something you might want to check out. And then also how I've been using my Steam Deck for productivity. So outside of that, that's the general topics right there, general gist of everything. Let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and pull up the questions that I got for the podcast. I want to go ahead and just dive into that first. So let me pull that up here on my phone. So one of the questions I got was from Randall Smallfoot, and his question was like things that I didn't know that the Steam Deck could do or that your deck could do. I did not know that I could okay, so we all know the Steam Deck is a Linux based platform, right? It's Linux PC. I didn't know it was powerful enough, and I should have realized this sooner. But given all the more powerful games it can run, I didn't know that I could utilize a platform. Well, not platform. I didn't know. I realized I could utilize uh, video and photo editing on it, and it'd be decent enough for me to get some of my projects that I'm working on, some that you've actually seen recently, done on. So, a lot of things I record here on my wife's desktop, not laptop, her desktop. And I'm actually, speaking of that, I will possibly be getting my desktop and laptop back maybe this week. Fingers crossed, knocked on wood. I might be getting it back. It may be another week. I don't know. I'm currently dealing with the foolishness that is Geek Squad. But yeah, so two of the videos that I've done recently, I've actually edited them on the Steam Deck. And it was when I did the Steam Deck OS beta update video, that was actually fully edited on the Steam Deck. And then I also edited I want to say so Sega Genesis Open FPGA Core video. So those were edited on the Steam. As far as the name of the application, I can't think of the name of it. I don't have my Steam Deck is actually set in the living room right now, so I can't think of the name of it. I'll put it in the description for the podcast. But I even like the thumbnails, right? So the thumbnails I was actually able to do using their their was it GIMP. I was using GIMP to edit the thumbnails for those. So I didn't realize that I could utilize it to work that well. Aloha Ralph 1628, how you doing? Hello, he says hello from Virginia Beach. How's everything going over there? How's the weather doing? Malahar says pre-built. No, these are applications that I was able to just download. So I was able to download. You can actually get them from the quote unquote app market on this on Linux. So I got GIMP because GIMP pretty much runs on anything. So I got GIMP, and as I'm talking, it's raining, and I'm not about to get up and move that. But anyways, GIMP was running pretty well. I was able to do thumbnails for those two videos. I just had to retweak like my like just because I'm so used to using Photoshop, and so going over to GIMP is so completely different, and so I had to change how I would go about the process of editing a photo with it. So it's like a lot of things are very different, but functionality wise, it's pretty much the same. And on top of that, I also with the video editing, it's not like that application. I wish I knew the name of it off the top of my head, but it's not the craziest. Like it's not on the level of Premiere or what's the other one? So it's Premiere, there's Vegas. It's not on the level of Vegas. It's not on the level of there's a free one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's not on the level of that either. But it is still a really good basic video editor. Like it gets the job done, so I can't really complain about that. So that was those are things I didn't know I could do. I know you could I know you can stream from it. Like if you want to do like utilizing like OBS and stuff like that, you could definitely do that. I mean, pretty much you could use it as a full-on workhouse computer. And I guess I can actually dive into one of the other topics I had, which was how I've been using Steam Deck for productivity. So on top of on top of how I was using it with video editing, photo editing, I've actually been writing reviews on the Steam Deck in desktop mode using like Office 365. So I've been able to do, I think, several of my reviews I've actually written on it. I wrote Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero on it. I just recently put out a review for Fallen Legion, Rise to Glory, and Revenants, the dual combo. There's also, I want to say I did. Yeah, I did actually. I did. Sorry, it's so hot right here because it's like as soon as the rain came down, it just got super muggy. Um, I also did The Last of Us Part One. I wrote that using Office 365 on my Steam Deck in desktop mode, and I also started using, as far as like equipment, several what is it? My main keyboard for typing, which I have in here, is the this one right here, the Logitech, the G915 TKL Lightspeed. So this is the clicky one. This is the main Bluetooth / USB keyboard that I use with my Steam Deck. This, and then the mouse, this one right here, the G903 Lightspeed. So these are what I use with my Steam Deck when it comes to like mouse keyboard combination. So yeah, that's something where just productivity wise, I've actually been very blown away. That's what I've been able to do. Now there are some limitations, like you can't be uh downloading a lot of stuff for your Steam library or doing too much at once. Like you kind of need to multitask, maybe no more than 2 different applications at one time. Otherwise you're going to really bog it down to being near unresponsive, like unresponsive. So there's that. You have to keep that. But moving on from that, let's see, what's the other question I had? I think I answered Paul Perry's question in the last podcast. I think the question was the likelihood that we'll ever get to install Microsoft Game Pass games not streaming via cloud. I think I answered that. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them in the chat here on the stream or in the in the replay, or just you can tweet to me, DM me, or whatever on Twitter, or join the Discord. We do have a Discord community. Let's see, Ralph 1628 says, I've been thinking about trying out a Windows 11 Lite version for gaming installation on the deck and use Steam Big Picture mode. I'm too chicken to do it, of course. I want to do that. Like, there's so much stuff. And Ralph, I know we talked about that the last time I did the premiere for the first episode of the podcast. I want to do a lot of things with the Steam Deck. It's just I need to get a second one, right? Because my wife has one that she uses. I've got mine. Like I want to get the 64 gig so I could just like tinker with it, right? Because as it is, I don't want to do too much. Like I want to switch out, the sticks. I want to do some upgrades to the buttons. I want to put a 2 terabyte hard drive in a Steam Deck, but I don't want to jeopardize my main one because that's my primary gaming platform. Even more so now that I don't have my gaming laptop or gaming desktop. Like the games that I want to play primarily on Steam. So I'm really playing that. Even though, yes, I've got the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, I've got the Switch. I just prefer playing on the Steam Deck, not only for modern games, but for like emulation as well. But there's other games that like I would love to like install like Windows on it as well, so that I can play like Destiny 2, right? And a lot of the games that have the anti-cheat built into them, that just don't run well on Linux, and that's just something I'm just gonna have to. I think I might just need to go ahead and reserve a 64 gig and just pay for it. I'm waiting for a lot of our bills to clear up here. Especially since the move, definitely saving a lot more money. But like, I don't right now so much. Like, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm just not in a position to get a second one because a second one for me, technically a third one overall because mine and my wife's. But yeah, I want to do I want to do that. I want a Teaker. And that goes into like so Paul's question about likelihood of us ever getting native installation for Xbox Game Pass. I don't know. I think it might be um I think it might be soon. And when I say soon, okay, let me put some parameters around that. Soon as in I think Microsoft's going to do something with the Steam Deck more officially within the next ballpark figure 6 months. I'll say 6 months. 6 months to 3 to 6 months. And the reason I say that is because Microsoft wants you to be able to play their stuff on anything you can. Be it streaming on a phone or, like an iPhone, Android phone, tablets, right? So if they can make it so that you can download Game Pass for PC beyond just like, these mini gaming PCs, like the OneX player and AOK Zoe and such. If they can get it to where you can get on SteamDeck, which is the premier like mobile gaming PC device, I think that they would. I don't think it's too far like out of the realm of possibility of them doing like work because they already they worked with Steam and how to set up, even though it's complicated, the process of getting it set up, like Game Pass Cloud set up on the Steam Deck. So if they're willing to do that and create a whole, how to, I'm sure that they're willing to do that for like a native application. If that makes sense. It says, does the Switch allow dual boot? You mean like being able to dual boots on Steam, between SteamOS and Windows? I believe if I'm correct, I think Games Revealed was doing that. He's done several videos on that. I think that's how he has his setup because he's got 2 Steam Decks now. I think I could be wrong, but I think he's done something like that where he's been able to do it. It says cheaper by an SD card than a deck. All right. So one of the questions was Perfidious 333 says future. His question was future games I'd want to see verified. Hopes for Steam Deck's future iterations. Thoughts on EmuDeck versus manual setup of emulators. Personal favorite settings for specific games to maximize battery, and favorite free-to-play deck titles. Maybe some deck channel. This is multiple questions within one, but general gist of it. So I'll go ahead and dive into it. Favorite things to use deck for outside game. I think okay. So favorite thing to use deck for outside game. I've already touched on that. I utilize, like I said, like content creating, so video editing, photo editing, documentation, or Office 365 and such, to write reviews. So there's that. As far as future games I'd like to see verified, it would have to be the ones that utilize anti-cheat. So like Outriders, which runs, but it still uses the anti-cheat, so there's issues with that fully working 100%. I would like to see Final Fantasy 14 online be fully verified and working. I would like to also see it's the other one. So Halo Master Chief Collection, fully verified, but because it uses anti cheat, it's not fully verified. So that's one of the, as far as games I'd like to see verified. So as far as Steam Deck's future iterations, that future iterations, slimmer profile. I like what we have now because it's very ergonomic, right? I like the feeling of the current Steam Deck, but lighter. I want a better screen, so I've been fine with, like I've said before, like I had like a micro LED screen, um, so like we don't get burn in, but I wouldn't have an issue with like an IPS display or an OLED. I mean, OLED would be great, but then you're also looking at how much that's going to burn into like the battery life. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. Outside of that, the other thing I'm thinking of is just better battery life in general. Not saying like the battery life is completely terrible. It depends. So that dives into like your settings. For Ralph 1620, he says, if a OLED screen becomes available for the deck, would you do the installation yourself? You can try it on your 64. A stunt deck. Yeah. So, um, I, truthfully, yes, I would get. I would, if I can get my hands on 64 gig Steam Deck, that would be the one I'm doing everything, and I would do videos on it, which is crazy because I actually got some equipment that came in from Aver Media, which is one of the companies I'm partnering with. So I can do like the overhead like camera down, and like they gave me also like this camera capture card for DSLRs. So I could have the camera like this and then one like overhead pointing down while like I'm doing, like the swapping out of parts. So if I had it, yeah, if an OLED screen comes available, I will do it. I will definitely uh I'll definitely do an installation. Now I would probably do it live, kind of like Games Reveal does, and maybe try and like record the live stream and then condense it down to like a smaller 10-minute video overall. But I would definitely do it. Like I'm definitely down for it. But yeah, speaking of like OLED screen, I wouldn't be against it. I just think that's going to be a bigger screen battery pull. But if they can utilize the same OLED screen that the Nintendo Switch OLED has, and if they're able to also incorporate like a better battery life, and I think the idea is to go bigger, and like you can get a long, depending on what you're playing. And that's one of the things, like I feel like when I watch a lot of YouTubers that are covering, like the general tech YouTubers who are covering the Steam Deck, when I watch them talk about the Steam Deck, they always talk about how bad the battery life is, but they never talk about how you can like create custom profiles. You can go, change out your TDP settings and such like that. Like they don't talk about that. And I get, you kind of want to, like a lot of them have, very casual audiences. But at the same time, it's like you want to make sure people know exactly what they're getting into. And a lot of them, they kind of glance over important things. And so when you have a conversation with someone who may just watch someone like, for instance, your average consumer, who isn't the most PC, especially Linux savvy, and they just go off of what he said, they'll just regurgitate it. Like, oh, it's not easy to use, it's not this, it's not that. I'm, like I've had conversations with people who've actually watched his video, and several other content creators as well, like Metal Jesus Rock. So it actually was interesting. Metal Jesus Rock, if you're into like retro gaming and such, he's actually recently out here in Hawaii, on my island, specifically, literally 2 blocks down from where my condo is. And he did a video on the Steam Deck, and he had a lot of complaints about the Steam Deck, which shouldn't have been complaints because there are things you could tinker around with, like custom controller configurations, and as well as power. Like you can change your TDP, but because a lot of these people who are getting the Steam Deck, they're expecting it to come out of the box and be the exact same as the Nintendo Switch. And I think between that and the constant comparisons to the Switch and people, it just becomes it's very annoying, right? Because it's a lot of these things are very easily fixed, or you can do some tinkering. So one of the games I've been playing a lot lately, Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake, and I turn my the custom settings I have for it is basically I just turn it down from 60 frames per second to 40 frames per second, and I was able to get an additional, close to like an hour of battery life. 60 frames to me is fine. I love 60 frames, although I've gotten so used to like 100 over like 100 frames per second because of the monitors I use, and mainly playing on my gaming desktop. But 40 frames per second is fine on the Steam Deck, and I think it's good. Like a lot of games may even struggle to hit 60. So if you can do 40 frames, a lot of games can easily go over 30 frames per 30 frames per second. So like Monster Hunter Rise, what's another one I use? So like so Monster Hunter Rise, then there's that's my daughter in the background. The Resident Evil remakes for 2 and 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and a couple of others. I just run them at 40 frames per second. I save on the battery life. I get additional battery life. It still is fluid enough for me, and I'm still playing the games I want to play portably. So there's that. And it's not hard to in my opinion, to I don't know. Like I feel like too many people have this idea that it's just a very difficult platform to use, or console, even though it's not console. And because people are so preconditioned to, which is a weird day and age, because we've had like for years the PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation, or the Xbox One X, and now the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series S and X, where games for the last several years, at least last 5 or 6 years, have given you the option to either do frame rate or resolution. So, like, you've already been exposed to tinkering. And I don't understand why people find that so confusing to tinker with, like, the settings on your Steam Deck. I don't know. Anyways, there's another one like Wolfden. I know he's another one. It's quite interesting. Severed Nerve says my Steam Deck arrived last week and I love it. The DioField Chronicles looks nice on the system and runs at 60 frames per second. That is something I'm actually working on a review for that. I got a review copy of that from Square Enix, which is, the interesting thing is they gave me the review code the day before it came out, and I'm like, you expect me, a man who's married with children and a stay-at-home father, to like literally play this game in its entirety and get a review out the day of release because they gave us an embargo. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. But DioField Chronicles is something I'm working on a review. It should be out later this week, along with Voice of Cards, The Beast of Burden. We're going to review for that too. And then I think I'm going to be getting a review copy of Valkyrie Elysium for PlayStation 5 later this week. Other games I'm going to be doing reviews for is Persona 5, the Royal for PC as well as Switch. And beyond that, I think Crisis Core. So everything that Square Enix coming out this year, I'm covering. So just that's something I'm going to be, and I'm primarily just going to be trying to focus on Steam versions because SteamDeck. But yeah. Let's see. Ralph said, "Seven, did you get any accessories?" Good question. I'm very curious. What did you say? So you bought your own saver into USB-C adapter with HDMI, temporary glass screen protectors, and gonna get yourself a skin to protect it as well. Where are you looking to get a skin from? Are you gonna do like D-brand, or I know that why do I draw? I draw blanks when I go live because I'm nervous. I should get over that. I know that Jay Socks. I had to remember how to pronounce their name because they get really irritated when you say Jay Saw or Swee. But Jay Socks, they are working on or they've actually released skins for the Steam Deck. So they sent me the skins as well as the Steam Deck dock with the M.2 slot. The problem with that is they sent that to my old address I don't live at anymore. And I am trying to track it because if you've ever ordered anything from JSOX, because the things come from China, they've got their own like Chinese tracking, and it's like not understandable in English until it like gets to the US and then it switches over to United States Postal Service, right? Or is it USPS? Yeah, United States Postal Service. So I'm waiting for that to get here in the US so then I can also like go in and be like, hey, I live here now. Even though like I think at this point we've lived at this condo for almost a month. And I gave them my updated address, but they still shipped it to the old. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, I have those coming in and I'll do videos on those. Probably do a live stream skin installation. That way you guys can see how easy or difficult it is. So that's that. Let's see. Ross says, yeah, that battery in the deck looks like a nightmare to take out. The battery upgrade, if possible, would not be fun. Kind of makes you wonder if the decks would be more customizable and modular. They need, and that is something like for the future iteration of the Steam Deck, I would like it to be modular. Like, I mean, yeah, they want us to tinker and everything with it how it is currently, but I would love it to be way more modular than what it is now because if I could just like pop it out, pop off the back, pop out the battery easily, pop out the sticks easily, without having to worry about damaging parts. And of course, anytime you take something apart, you have to worry about are you going to damage the parts. But like, just making it easier than what it currently is what I'm trying to say. That is something that I would like to see them do. To be honest, I'd like to see Steam Deck 2 or the upgrade be modular, better screen. So either micro LED. I wouldn't be against OLED. The only thing about OLED, like I said, is more of a power drain. A better battery. Maybe similar to like what the Switch OLED has, where it's like it's really substantial how big that battery is and how long it lasts. So they could put like something in there like that. One thing I'm kind of curious as to why nobody has made this, and maybe it's because of the this could be a reason. I think one of the reasons could possibly be that how, like when you're playing really intense games, like say you're playing Cyberpunk 2077, or you're playing The Witcher 3 or Doom Eternal, like anything that's really pushing the hardware, it starts to get really, really hot. And one of the things I was wondering, because like with the Switch we got battery cases, and I'm wondering if the reason we haven't, I know you can get like the 3D printed stuff off of like Etsy and eBay, but I was wondering why we haven't got that for the Steam Deck, and I'm thinking maybe it's just because of the heat. Maybe that's too much heat to be touching an external battery. Lek Pachalski, what's up? How you doing? Says they need to fix the audio jack, which is garbage. Lots of white noises and multiple complaints on Reddit. Agreed. I actually, so when I play my Steam Deck docked, and I'm running it into like my capture card. My capture card has a 3.5 millimeter input for audio. I actually bought some I swear to God, I can't think of the name of this stuff when I'm blind. But like it gets rid of the audio interference and static. And I use it not only on the Steam Deck, I also use it on my Switch. And it helps a lot because yeah, you're right. There's a lot of noise um that comes out of that audio input. Is very, very annoying. Welcome to the channel, like Pachalski. How you doing? Server Nerd says, I understand the constraints of the performance versus the battery life, but that's the sacrifice of you're willing to accept for the performance it gives. Yeah. And, I know I see a lot of people in the Reddit as well as the Facebook community for Steam Deck uh, that are traveling with their Steam Deck and they're out and about using it a lot. And at one point, I was doing that, but for my sake, and I can't really speak for others, I don't really take my Steam Deck out of the house anymore. Especially since we moved. I am a full time stay at home dad on top of doing content full time. So the only real times I leave the house is either I'm taking my daughter to the park to play, or I'm going to the store to pick up food, or on the weekends, like I'll go out to with my wife, and we'll go to like the store to give like like Sam's Club or Costco. We're gonna do something like that. Maybe we'll go to the beach, which we probably will go to the beach more often since it's like literally right down the street. But I don't take it out of the house, so like I'll just play games as they are, and then just juice it up with my the power adapter. I've got a what was this? This is the one I got from Best Buy that was like on sale for really cheap. It's like a 65 watt. I've got two 65 watts, two 95 watts, and I just use those to power up the Steam Deck. So I think I got the official one here too. Yeah, so I do. Got the official one just sitting over here. But beyond that, what else? What other question do you have? Favorite free to play titles on deck? I have actually been playing a lot of what's it called? Mega Man X. The Mega Man X Dive. That's the name of it. I've been playing a lot of that on Steam Deck. I was originally playing on my iPhone, and I switched over to playing on Steam and Steam Deck, and it's a lot of fun actually. I It gets annoying with the gotcha elements of it, but for the most part, if you're a fan of Mega Man, like all the series from Classic to X to ZX, Zero, and Legends, even Battle Network, you're gonna find a lot to love with that game. So that's the one I'm currently playing. But you have to actually pull me away from Vampire Survivors to actually want to dive into much else, because that's the primary thing I'm playing. Um, I wish there's more time in the day. I don't know how many of you guys are parents, but like those of you who have Steam Decks and that are parents, my question to you is: do you find yourself playing games more since you've gotten the Steam Deck, or are you playing them less? Mike for Fun says in 20 minutes, Kill Switch mails will go out. Ooh, yeah, I need to go ahead and order that ASAP as soon as I get that mail come in. Um, I know for me, because I've got a toddler running around. She's almost 2. I'm playing more, but I'm not playing ones that require a lot of attention until like late at night. Like during the day, Vampire Survivors, Max Dive, uh, like fighting games, shmups, Doom Eternal, because that Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. But like at night, that's when I'll dive into like more demanding stuff. Dragon Quest 11 and Tales of Arise, as well as like Cyberpunk 2077, because I'm playing through that again. But yeah, during the day, I can't really play anything that like makes me like focus too deeply. That out of the way. I know new tutorials. So I am working on a new tutorial for Steve, or several new tutorials, because there's been updates to how you get Xbox Game Pass Cloud working on the Steam Deck. That's supposed to be easier and more. I guess it's a better experience overall. So I am working on doing a video update to that. If it takes me a while to do more videos, like you guys know, I don't have my gaming desktop and laptop with me, and for the most part, I have to rely upon like my wife's setup, and her setup is very, very different than mine. Equally powerful, but it's just very, very different. I don't want to be taking over her desktop and her setup to just be fully doing what I'm doing. So I know my content has kind of slowed from what it was, say, like a month ago. So I'm working on an update for that. I get a lot. I get like out like every half hour to 15 minutes. There's a complaint on the old video, which is interesting because some people can use the old method and it works for them, and some are using it and it's not working. And I'm just like, I got a new one in the works. I just got to get around to doing it, and it's things that take a lot of time. I usually have to wait until like Friday evening, or sometime on Saturday or Sunday, because during the week, because my wife works you know over, I want to say like 13, 14 hours 5 days a week. I can't really do a lot with my toddler because I don't want her getting into stuff. So I just know I am working on a new tutorial for Xbox Game Pass Cloud. There's another tutorial I'm working on for like being able to remote play to your Xbox Series S and X, and I think also not 360, Xbox One. I've heard people say they have issues with trying to play the PlayStation 5 via remote play, via Shiaki. I still can do it. Others apparently can't. I don't know why. But if I need to update that, I will. And I'm also looking at doing a tutorial video on like optimal settings, like for the dummies guide to like how to do a lot of stuff. Price prediction around 300 to 350. Red Scorpion, you mean for like the new OneX device? Or you mean for like maybe the next Steam Deck variation? So there's that. Those are tutorials I'm working on. And so next topic I want to dive into, we're actually going to switch scenes. We're going to be talking about has OneX oversaturated the mobile market. All for the OneXFly. So we're going to be switching over. And here we are. So we're going to be looking at, if I can get my camera to focus. So we're looking at we're at the OneX website, all right? So they're already promoting the brand new, what's this, the OneX Mini Pro, OneX Player Mini Pro. It's got the AMD 6800U. I've heard the battery lives on the OneX devices aren't that great. If anyone who has one, can you confirm or deny if that's true or not? So they also got one Intel Core i7 1260p. So my question is, do you guys feel like OneX is flooding the market with their OneX player devices? Granted, these have been coming out before the Steam Deck. But do you feel like they've been like flooding the market? Red Scorpion says no SD card for the OneX Player Mini Pro. So whoever buys it better get 1 TB or more. No SD card. That that sucks. So it starts at let's see. No, it says refurbished. So this is the newer one. The 16 gigs of RAM. Is this DDR4 or DDR5? Dreams that had no clue about these. Do they have OLED? I don't think these are OLED. Let me double check. This is LPDDR4. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, this is a Windows 11 device. Um, Wi-Fi 6 is nice. How hot does this get though? That's what I'm curious about. Like, how hot do these devices get? So prices between 1,000 all the way up to 1,500, depending on which one you pick. So base model, 16 gigs, 512 gigs, 1169 VIP pricing. But normal pricing seems to be 1369. Or actually, no. 1229. We step up to the 1 TB, 369. Step up to the 2 TB, 1569. So I mean, it's pocketable, but how hot does it get? I need to know what the thermals are on this. I know Russ from Retro Game Core and ETA Prime have done extensive videos on these, but yeah, I don't personally know anyone that has one of these. Wait, did the emails go out? I did not get an email for the kill switch. I mean, Oh, okay. You got to enter your email and your reservation ID to be able to do it. Okay. I'll do that after the podcast. Anyways, 32 gigs of RAM is overkill. I agree. You don't really need that. That's too much. Okay, so I'm not sold on this. Like, so okay, so 1280 800 IPS screen, 2060 PPI. That's not bad. It's not terrible, but yeah, I'm not sold on that. Okay, so the one with the Gpd Win 4 is also cool. Okay, in comparison, so if you look at the OneX and you look at what they're doing, and you look at what when a Gpd Win is doing, and you can cross compare that because a lot of people are confused as to whether those devices are Steam Deck. Now, Valve is selling the Steam Deck at a loss, but they're making it up in the fact that you're going to be buying games off the Steam store, so they can afford to take that hit. I feel like when it comes to these devices here, um, with these, they're producing so many of them because they're not making any money off of the software. It's just hardware. And on top of that, how much profit do you guys think they're actually making when you look at when you piecemeal out the individual parts they're using? Like, how much profit are they legitimately making? Oh yeah, the INEO, the Iron Loki Max. Also, isn't the ALK Zoe going to be super expensive too? Like, do you guys feel that there's just too many? Like, are they? I just don't see how much of a profit that they're making by constantly throwing these out here. Like I feel like every 2 to 3 months there's a new OneX, there's a new INEO, there's a new GPD Win, and maybe these are more powerful than the Steam Deck. And granted, having Windows, I will say, like, granted, having Windows, you do have more options available for what you could do. You're not limited in what you can play, especially with the anti cheat devices, like, not devices, but games. You can literally play almost anything. But the problem is you're dealing with Windows, and I don't know, like, just dealing with SteamOS versus, or Linux and SteamOS versus Windows. I don't know. I, I'm not unwilling to try one of these. I'll be completely honest. I don't have the money to buy these, and they're not willing to send one to me. So it's like, maybe if I hit like 20,000 subscribers, they'll be more willing to work with me. But like, I've reached out to them. I've reached out to AOK Zoe. Um, Even Ambernick. You guys remember that Ambernick device that came out? Um, they told me that I'm not. I don't make content that's relevant to what their product is, what products are. And I'm like, okay, I just cover Steam Deck and retro gaming and current gaming. So okay, I guess not. So okay, Zoe, there's There's too many in the market of different companies' handhelds. Yeah, 6800U is more powerful than SteamDeck, but it's expensive. Plus, it's reaching the gaming laptop that has 1060 for that price. True. MNX 600 is weaker. Agreed. So the Valve Steam sale, I'm curious how much money will come for the deck itself. Probably a lot. I mean, how many of us are like buying games on Steam that we're not even like? Okay, how many of you guys have like a serious extensive backlog that you haven't even touched? I know I definitely do. My backlog is ridiculous right now. Switching over, I want to go over. We're gonna go to their. This is Weibo. I'm not familiar with this, but this is where they're teasing their new device, the OneXFly. I like the look of it. I'm not gonna lie. The look is. It looks like kind of, sort of like the Switch OLED without the bottom parts. But if it's like you, I think Red Scorpion, I think you were saying it earlier. You think the price would be around $300 to $350? I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. I'm not against that. Like, I like the look of this. This is a very sexy design. I like it. I had nothing against it. Yeah, so I definitely hope it's comfortable. I hope the thermals are not too bad on it. And I know like they have a white one too. I don't know if I like the cream more or if I like this white neon one. I don't know. Which one do you guys like? These are the RuPaul collection. Easily not against the price is good for emulation. True. True. So like currently what I'm using for emulation between the Steam, I utilize the Steam Deck, but I also utilize the analog pocket for the most part for a lot of retro stuff, just because I can dock it and play it on my TV. I want an Ambernick. I want an Ambernick 600. They're like, nah. I'll probably reach out and buy one, but I don't know. I don't know which one. Ralph, you say you like the white neon? Oh, it's dessert. Wait, okay, it's got names on it. Okay, hold up. Okay. This one says PT Night. So this is PT Night. This is dessert. And this was Pilot. I don't think I would get this one. I mean, it's cool, but I'm not crazy about the color. It's cute. It just makes me think of like Tom Nook from like Animal Crossing. I think I would go with the Pilot. This just reaches out to me more. I mean, this looks cool too. Um, the Aya Neo devices. Have any of you guys got hands on with these, or do any of you guys have one? I'm so sold on this one specifically. The color of this is just so sexy to me. uh I know this is overall weaker than like the Steam Deck, so Red Scorpion say you just need a small handheld since Steam Deck is too big to carry around. I play Steam Deck on my bed or couch. I'm the same way. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind a pocketable like one like this. It's just for me trying to take the Steam like I don't want to take the Steam Deck out of the house anymore. It's too big. You know, especially don't want to walk around with key with that. But it's just the price of these. Just I don't know. Ralph, you say you were interested in the Air. Okay, so the Idea Next Air wouldn't be against it. I just don't think it needs all that RAM. Dream says love it, and I think it has OLED. Sorry, I'm OLED simp. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Dream. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Uh, and then AOK Zoe. Have they updated the AOK Zoe like the D-pad? The lowest quality OLED screen? That sucks. Like, did they? It does not look like they did too much with that D-pad. It still looks. It looks like it's slightly improved, but it doesn't look like it's substantially improved. How much is this in price? I haven't kept up with this. Okay, so my biggest thing with all of these devices is if something happens to them, I don't feel like you're going to get the same level of customer service and repair that you would with like the Steam Deck. That's the one area where I feel like just like Valve just has everyone else beat. Because I feel like you're just constantly going to run into an issue with like if something goes wrong, you're just going to have to deal with like you're not going to have service centers that you can send it off to, or be able to get quick repairs. I just feel like you're going to have a lot of issues with this. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Um, the other thing I wanted to dive into, let's see, Steam Deck TGS2022. All right. Um, I just want to pull up the image. So anyway, Tokyo Gameshow 2022. we saw Genshin Impact running on the Steam Deck. Now, I want to talk about that because there's a lot of people I know, especially like in my Discord, my Guilded, a lot of people are very into Genshin Impact. I got to play it before it came out to the public, and I haven't really devoted much time to it since I got to play the original beta before it released. Um, since I mean, the Steam Deck is definitely it's definitely knocking it out of the park in Japan and in the Asian market. But running Genshin Impact, like you can't run that on the Steam Deck currently. Do you think? Do you think that's going to be coming soon? Like, what do you guys think of that? Like, I definitely hope it comes soon. Chris Scorpion, you say you played Genshin on your iPhone and felt like it was going to blow up your iPhone 11 because it made it so hot. See, that's the thing. Like, why I want like just a dedicated gaming handheld. Like, mobile games, I just don't want to play them. I just don't want to play them on my phone. We're telling you running through battery life like crazy, making a device hot. Like I've got the what is it, the backbone. I've got the backbone. I got a review unit of that. I love it. I love using it, especially like for COD Mobile and everything like that. But like, I don't want to play that on my phone. I just don't want to deal with it getting too hot. But yeah, Genshin Impact. I think if that does, and I think it will, if they showed it at Tokyo Gameshow, I think that you know, oh yeah, definitely, it definitely kills the battery quickly. I do think that if they showed it at Tokyo Game Show, I think it's going to be coming soon. It may hit the the Asian market first due to popularity, and I think we might get it probably. I want to say if not end of the year, I'll say probably beginning of next year is when I think we'll probably get the I guess the Linux version of it because I feel like they did in sideload. I think they natively put it on. But speaking of that, speaking of Tokyo Game Show and Steam Deck and everything like that, we've also got production ramp up. So now we're fully in Q4, and more people are getting their Steam Deck. So turnaround on Steam Deck, like Steam Deck orders or reservations to like when you pay for it and shipping is 90% faster than what it was prior to like what we've had before. Like Q1, Q2, early Q3, it has astronomically gotten faster. I want to also say that because it's that's why I don't want to reserve a 64 gig is because it's since it's coming out so quickly. Or when you from reservation to ordering it, I'm like, man, I need to get my funds up for that. What do you guys think about people who still complain saying it's too long of a wait to get a Steam Deck? I feel like if anyone's saying that now, they have not gone through the experience of what a lot of us had to wait and deal with. But that's interesting. I've seen a lot of people complain that it takes too long to from your reservation to ordering your Steam Deck now. I disagree with that, but then I went through the thick of it when it was at the very beginning. And then there's the constant there's the people who feel like the Steam Deck is a kind of a one and done device. And I find that interesting. And the reason I think I find that interesting is if it was a one and done device, the industry as a whole, the gaming industry as a whole, would not be so quick to get behind it. You've seen Square Enix showcase Final Fantasy VII Remake PC version running perfectly for Steam. Cyberpunk 2077 has or CD Projekt Red has advertised it for Steam, or Steam Deck rather. You know, a lot of these companies, especially even Sega, with like the Yakuza or like a Dragon franchise, and with what's the recent one that came to PC, the Judgment Collection, they've promoted them running perfectly on the Steam Deck, and I think that a lot of people still don't want to accept that the Steam Deck is something that's going to stay around. Like Valve is fully invested in this, and just being able to get this out to more markets, more demographics, is going to just be better for gaming as a whole. And I've said it before, and I still believe this, but I fully believe that the Steam Deck is what's going to inspire whatever the next iteration of the Nintendo Switch is. Nintendo wants to go, I'm not saying they're going to go for something that's going to be on the level of like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series S or X, but for them, they're gonna have to make a device that they want to maintain third party support and not have to continue dealing with like doing cloud versions of games, or dealing with uh versions of games that are just running so subpar. Like it runs worse than what it would have on a PlayStation 3 or original Xbox 360. If they want to not have to deal with that, and I know you've got the Nintendo Switch hardcore audience that you know defend it to the death. I just think that it's just time for Nintendo to make a more powerful device, and I think the basis of that, because all these companies are watching what Valve is doing. I think Nintendo is going to use the Steam Deck as a basis. No, Valve may even help them. Now that makes me think. That brings me up to like the topic of the. I know I covered it before, but the Logitech Cloud. Sure, a lot of you guys have seen this. And I talked about this on the last podcast, but I want to bring it up again. I do have one of these pre-ordered. I have a relationship with Logitech G, but I'm not partnered with them. So they've sent this out to a lot of their partner content creators. I'm not one of them. The only thing I've ever got from them is like the mouse and keyboard and racing wheel. But beyond that, like something like this, they're probably not going to send this to me. Since this is running, I think Android 11, so you can install native Android apps, and you also have cloud. I don't see the point in them pricing. First off, why are they even trying to get into this market? I don't understand that from Logitech. It just doesn't make sense to me. This device as a whole just does not make sense to me. Especially when there are other devices that are substantially cheaper than this, offering the same kind of capability. Like the only reason I'm getting this is curiosity as a tech head, and I'm gonna review it. But I'm actually also paying for it out of my own pocket. Dream says you ordered your Steam Deck in early June and got yours last Wednesday. Wasn't that bad at all? Yeah, it's not that bad of a wait. So a lot of people complain now. Like I just don't understand it. But yeah, like this device, I don't really understand the point of it. I don't know what market they're trying to go after, and honestly, I really think that they're gonna probably have this run for 6 months to maybe a year before they discontinue it. I don't see this device being out here for very long. The Logitech G Cloud. Just the yeah, it's got a custom UI and everything's like some of these apps are pre-installed, so Xbox Cloud Gaming, Nvidia GeForce Now, Steam Link and all that preloaded. Cool. But yeah, I just don't see like this. I'm not gonna be trying to play something like Deathloop on Wi-Fi out and about somewhere. I don't know. Jason Garza. So it's just like Netflix with Steam Deck. Every company is seeing success, so now they want their own platform instead of selling through Steam, much like how we have so many streaming services. Very true. Yo, this is funny. It says 10 out of 10. Logitech, stop deleting bad reviews, you cowards. 10 out of 10. This is Nickelback of this is the Nickelback of handheld gaming. It's music, but it sucks. 10 out of 10 will buy a Steam Deck again. Ooh. Uh Yo, the comments here. This is the best 5 stars, the best value ever. This device is just fantastically overpriced. I plan to get one for everyone in my family. I grew up in a dysfunctional household. The gaming community has been waiting for this for a long time. This may be why Steam made a better version. Great job, Logitech. Logitech, with your mouse and keyboard. Yeah, they're getting trolled out the wazoo. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. I love this. So Logitech, I would use it for family visiting, to keep them away from good stuff like Steam Deck. Says I have no interest in Logitech Cloud. It's overpriced for the specs. Basically, that's really all it is. That's all it is. Yeah, the comments. Oh my god, it says this product changed my life. I've sold my gaming PC, canceled my pre-order for the 4090 Ti, threw my Nintendo Switch in the garbage. All I do is stare at Logitech G Cloud all day. God, beautiful gaming in 1080p and 60 hertz. My wife's boyfriend loves it. Yo, I'm getting away from this comment section because this is just too much. This is too much. I don't know who the hell this is for, but they getting trolled to high hell. This shit's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Anyways, going back to Steam Deck. Going back to Steam Deck. So I had a good laugh out of that. That was hilarious. But anyways, going back to Steam Deck. I don't know how many people have been utilizing the preview channel. I made a video about the preview channel's update that just came out not long ago, and how it helped with like improving the overall experience of docking your Steam Deck. And I want to say, for a lot of you who may not have tried, or who may, I'm guilty of this too, of just staying in the stable channel, I would say try out the preview channel and try out some of the improvements that they've made to the docking experience, because I think it's pretty neat what they've done so far with it. Like, I can't complain whatsoever. And probably this week that's gonna come out an official update. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Oh Lord. Red Scorpion says it's gonna be left on shelves like those fake Sega mini consoles at Target they teamed up to charge. Oh my goodness. Yo, Logitech is taking the biggest L. And it's something you would never think they would do something that stupid, but they're like, nope, let's get in on this market and charge something close to the Steam Deck in price. Makes no sense. Anyways, yeah, definitely check out the preview channel. I think the updates for the docking situation is better. Steam Deck Mini or Pro in the future would be nice. Oh, I definitely think they're going to do that. I think they're going to get away from the 3 tiers that we currently have for the Steam Deck, and I think we're going to get, well, actually, correction. I think they're going to revise the 3 tiers, and I think you're going to get probably a base 512, if not 1 terabyte. And then they're going to have a Pro variation that's more powerful, and I do think we're going to get a Mini. It just makes sense. Even if they eat that at a loss, they're still going to make it up in Steam software sales. That's just a given to me. That being said, I don't really have any much else to talk about. I don't know how long we've been live. We've been live for a good while, hour and a half almost. Hopefully y'all had fun. Hopefully, if there are any questions or any topics you guys like us to dive into before we head on out. And I should have asked this at the beginning of the podcast, but like, is the audio better in comparison to the first podcast that I did? And who would you like to see? Because I'd like to have guests on the show. I'd love to have Nerd Nest. I know I've talked about that before, but love to have Nerd Nest, Deck Ready, Fan the Deck, High Tech Low Life. I'd really love to have Games Revealed on. I'm a big fan of his channel. If you guys haven't checked him out, James, aka The Brink, and they're one. If you guys haven't checked him out, definitely check him out. I think he's been doing great covering Steam Deck so far. I'd love to have him on the podcast and talk about Steam Deck. And I'm trying to think who else. How would you? Oh, I do. How many of you guys follow That Gadget Guy? Juan Bagnell. He's a friend of mine. He's also into the Steam Deck. Would you guys be interested in seeing Juan Bagnell on, or some gadget guy on, to talk about the Steam Deck on this podcast? But yeah, Games Reveal. I love his channel. Great content, great guy. Love to have him on the show. He says getting Steam Deck this week. What's the first thing I should do when I get it? Perhaps to even just test or for defects. That actually is going to lead into a video I'm actually working on right now, like the top 5, top 10 things that you should do when you get a Steam Deck. I would say first thing you should do, um, tinker. Just tinker with the device. I think you should tinker with it, because for the first month, that's really, I mean, I played a lot of games, but I did a lot of tinkering, and I had a lot. I tinkered way more than I played anything. Um, tinkering, figuring out the different power settings for like the thermal wattage, uh, resolution scaling, not resolution scaling, frame scaling. So moving from 60 to 50 to 40 to, well, 60 to 40 to 30. Um, Profiles, using game profiles for performance and battery testing, seeing what you can run on it, because there's a lot of games, and this is something I've noticed with some of the bigger non Steam Deck focused channels. It's just because a game says it's not verified for Steam Deck does not mean that it won't run. Actually, on top of that, Proton QT Proton up. I think that's the name of it. Get that. That way you can get additional protons that you can use. So like when you try out something, and if it doesn't launch, just try a different proton. I would say probably get like the last, the latest, and then 5 previous before the latest proton, and test with that. Yeah, I wanted to do this last week. I wanted to do this live last week, and I didn't have everything set up to be able to do that. But yeah, I'm thinking I want to do this the same time every Sunday, and I want to shoot for Thursdays as well. Just the thing is, like, Thursday would probably be later in the day because I gotta wait for my wife to get off work. But yeah, I would love to do. I want this to be a weekly thing, and then like after the live stream, if you guys want to catch like the replay, is here, or like the audio version will be available on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify. Um, but yeah, like that's definitely that's the direction I want to take this going forward. Is this be live streamed, and then the audio version goes up later. But other than that, yeah, Proton. I think it's like Proton up or QT Proton up. Definitely, I get that. Get the protons. Um, EmuDeck. If you want to mess around with like emulation, get EmuDeck. Yeah, like immediately after like I premiered the this podcast last week, I immediately was able to get it up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify like that. So I was like, I'm working to get it up because I really want to push this. Um, yeah, EmuDeck. Make sure you get that. And then like if you're looking for, like technically we're not supposed to talk about where to get ROMs and all that stuff, but like a quick Google search or the CD of romance, you know, hint, hint, wink, wink. You can get that. Um, Tinkering around with like, I want to say like third party launchers, like get Heroic or Lutris, either of those. But like Heroic is also really good. Um, and that way you can port over. And I know they haven't fixed it yet, but like just do realize if you use Heroic Launcher, and you're trying to use like your GOG library, your saves don't sync for some reason. But if you do like if you install GOG directly, uh you have your saves synced. But you've got to like go through you utilizing Lutris. Um I think I did like a tutorial on how to set up GOG, Epic Game Store, and uh what's the other one? EA's Origin. Oh yeah, Wind Waker HD on the Steam Deck is so nice. Yeah, the game like it gives you what Nintendo will never give you, and it's all all your games in one place. So being able to go back, because I've got like a Wii U, and there's so many games on Wii U I want to go back and play, and I just have no desire to set up my Wii U, because of the gamepad and everything like that. And the Steam Deck allows you to play your Wii U libraries, and also what's cool with that is you can utilize um I lost my train of thought. You guys are okay. So if we do more live streams like this, you guys will see like I lose my train of thought a lot. Like the minute I hear like my toddler, I'm like, I need to go get her. Anyway, um, the with the what's this thing is Simu, CEMU, which is the Wii U emulator for Steam for just for PC Steam in general, or PC Linux in general. So if you use it on Steam Deck, you can also set it up to where the Steam Deck will operate like the gamepad, and then you can have the game running to the TV, like kind of like the official Wii U would work. Although you got to do it wired, unfortunately, but still it works. And so you could literally like take something like, I mean, it's kind of a bit, but you could have like, like something like this Anchor hub, have that running off of your Steam Deck, and then route it, and you can literally play it like you would. So like games I'm playing as far as like Wii U emulation, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, Xenoblade Chronicles X on Steam Deck is the absolute best way to play Xenoblade Chronicles X. Devil's Third. The only thing that's difficult with setting up like emulation is Wii U emulation requires like Wii U keys, and you got to really kind of dig around to find that. Uh, that one's kind of a little bit difficult to set up, but like PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox, fairly easy to set up and get going. Um, 3DS is actually fairly easy to get set up and going. DS is easy, really easy to set up and go. Dreamcast, Sega CD, PC Engine are slightly difficult. They work, but it's a process. Just keep that in mind. Squad Twin says, just wanted to drop by and say we love your tutorials and walkthroughs, bro. I appreciate you for saying that. I greatly appreciate and I'll be honest, I have a lot of times where I wonder if people really like my tutorials, because I get a lot of like angry comments from people saying like certain things in tutorial isn't working, or like, and it's, I think a lot of people don't realize that certain things, as time goes by, like when I initially did a lot of those tutorials, that was months ago, right? And I just, a lot of them, yeah, I need to update, but I can't do like a immediate update every time there's an update. It just, timing, right? But yeah, I get a lot of angry comments, and sometimes I just like, even when I woke up today, I had like 70 angry comments on several tutorials, and it's just like, fuck, you know. uh, like, okay. um Wait, so you guys got the Dreamcast one plug and play? Really? So okay, how did okay, so with the Dreamcast, are you guys just doing zip files and getting it to run directly? Or because I know sometimes I can get the zip files to work, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I've got to unzip. I don't know. I've run into a lot of issues, but mm. So I become a Power Ranger member. Go Ranger. So thank you for the advice. First time PC player that has really only ever gamed on console has got me anxious, having never really done so or used Linux before. True. It's a process. That's the main thing I can say. It's a process, but it's worth it, and it'll be one of the best gaming experiences you'll have. So you have a custom GameCube portable and Wii portable. Yo, I need to see pictures and tell me where to get those. I was using Wii U to play most of the Mario games on big screen, but just like you said, all that is replaced by a Steam Deck now. Yeah, like honestly, like I've got all my retro consoles in the closet over here, and I just don't see like a need to dive in and utilize them because of the Steam Deck, the versatility of it, which is interesting because I don't know if you guys have also seen a lot of this, but there's like a lot of people that feel threatened by the Steam Deck, a lot of the Nintendo Switch Extreme crowd. And I've seen a lot of people make posts saying like people only get a Steam Deck to play Nintendo games or play Switch games and all this other stuff. And I'm like, why does it matter what people get their Steam Deck to use it for? Or, you know, and then people want to do the Steam Deck versus Switch and all that. And it's like, yeah, but let people game how they game. The OG Anchor Hub, we all rocked up. Yep. So see me is tricky. You need to collect those keys. Like your link most don't work. Yo, a lot of those key links don't work at all. The highest CMU shading on Steam Deck does he have a lot of space? Not that I noticed. Not that I've noticed, to be honest. Yeah, I like them. The reason I got the heroic launcher on my deck. Tutorials are great things change and it takes time. And I appreciate you guys saying that because I really do sometimes feel like maybe I should just like delete my tutorials because like I know there are other people that do tutorials. I don't know if their comment section gets as flamed as mine. Oh like God, like I have so many where people say, "Oh, your tutorials are clickbait," and I'm like, "Do you understand what clickbait is?" Also, see, oh wait, so you guys are using CDI? I'm using GDI files. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's what it is. The only thing I have that's retro is in the room next to me. God. Yo, Ralph, you wrong for that one. Oh man. That's the only thing retro. Oh, yo, I'm dead. Ooh. Oh man. Yo, I'm done. Yo, that right there. um. Anyways, if you guys want, I have a Discord, and I'm really trying to grow the Discord. Like I had an old community. That's not really. I mean, there a lot of them are active. It's mostly Genshin Impact. But if you guys would like to join my Discord community, because I'm really trying to grow it, I want it to be centered around mainly, Steam Deck, but also just PC, console, just gaming in general, and tech. So if you guys want to join it, here's the link. You guys want to hop in. I try my best to be more active on Discord, but it's like a lot of times during the day I'm just tied up with my toddler. But if you guys want to join, there's a link right there. He said, "Bro, I was trying to send you a super chat, but my hacked YouTube isn't cooperating. Lying to other accounts support. Just wanted to say, with negativity, roll off your back." Hey, you don't even have to do that. I appreciate it. Like, I just appreciate you guys coming here, enjoying the content I put out. I just that if you want to, like, I don't try to push anyone to super chat or Patreon or any of that stuff. Like, if you want to, you can. I think the best way, at least to me personally, if there's accessories you want to get, just use my Amazon link because that helps out. But I mean, if it's on your heart to do it, cool. I greatly appreciate it. There's no pressure at all. But appreciate all of you who are joining the Discord. I definitely want to grow that, and I also want to start putting tutorials in it because it's. To be honest, I've gone through like 3 different Discords, and it's when I was associating with a lot of like Nintendo focused YouTubers and a lot of the retro gaming community. There's a lot of drama. Like, there's so much drama with these communities, and I would always get caught up in something that like someone I know would say, and it's like guilt by association because I would go to like message somebody on Twitter, like another content creator, and I'm blocked based off some shit that someone else said. I mean, because I'm following somebody else, I'm blocked. It, you know, I'm just not a drama person. Like, I just want to like just talk about games and not have to deal with drama. But anyways, I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm shocked we almost went this long, almost 2 hours. If y'all enjoyed it, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Hit the like button, share it around, sub if you haven't already. We're about to hit 15,000 here on YouTube. I think we're at 14,954 subscribers, and we should be hitting probably in the next week and a half. I might hit 15,000. Fingers crossed. He goes through more discourse than I go through Newports. Just joking. Yeah, I was like, no, but I've gone through so many. I've like deleted my old Discord just because of the drama. Like, it's getting caught up in other people's bullshit. I'm not about it. Like, I'm just not interested in that. And it's like there's so much YouTube drama. Like, and thankfully in the Steam Deck community of content creators, I've seen none of that whatsoever. But like with like Nintendo crowd, or like the Switch focused Nintendo YouTubers, or the retro gaming, like not all the retro gaming community, but a good majority of the retro gaming community, especially like I've been doing these tutorials for like the Analog Pocket. A lot of that community has been very angry at me. um and then you got like the console purists, like the PlayStation, the Sony ponies, and the Xbox bots that like are just it's like, can we just game and enjoy what we got? Like, does it have to be drama? Like, I've seen people say if you buy an Xbox, you're a low IQ individual, and I'm like, It's not that serious. Like, really, why are we taking it to the extreme? Like, it just, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I try to stay away. Yo, I've got. Yeah, you know what? It was funny. What's funny about that squads is I've actually got asked what my opinion is on it, and I refuse to answer because I'm like, I don't want to deal with any drama associated with that. Period. Period. No drama. I'm like, I don't want. I want to touch on it. It's so bad with like how quick people are to like like go after you for something. Because like as an example, was it I want to say it's 2020, right? During the election cycle, like AOC, she got verified on Twitch and like only did one stream. And I know like my wife asked, she asked the question of like, how did she get verified? Not out of like a political anything like that. It was just like, yo, how because the rules on Twitch, which is Twitch is going down, but like the rules on Twitch are like all over the place. And just by asking that question, people are trying to cancel my wife. And it's just like a lot of public, like a lot of things. I don't. We're just both at a point now where like we're just not gonna ask any questions anymore. People want to cancel and get angry about everything. It's just ridiculous. And Scorpion says, "I own it all." He said, "Why hate on what console people play on?" I don't get it. Like, play on what you want to play. Enjoy what you want. Play on it. Do what you. We're all if we're all gamers, we're all here to game. Game how you want. Like, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't understand. And maybe it's because this new generation just probably started with like 360 or even the last generation of consoles. But there was a time when you had what the NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Sega Game Gear, Game Boy, Sega Nomad, PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16, Atari Jaguar, Atari Lynx, uh, Philips CDI, Apple Pippin, right? Sega 32X, Sega CD, Saturn, PlayStation 1, 64, and Virtual Boy, Neo Geo CD, all at the same time, right? Oh, the Turbo Express, the Turbo Express. Like, you had all of that, and then you had the console war, Sega versus Nintendo, and then Saturn versus Sega Saturn versus Sony PlayStation versus Nintendo 64. That's when you had console wars. Not now. Like, not now. Yeah, I said CD, Philips CDI. I went there. Like, it's just it's interesting. Like, going through that and then how people are now, it's like, what are you doing? Just play, like, this is not a war. Oh, yeah, the 3DO. I left that out too. He's a smart move. I just found out about it last week. The comment section is cancer. It is like comment section can be absolute cancer. So drama comes from validation of one's purchases. They want to be right about buying what they did to the point of anger. It's wild. You say you just feel like we should all pause up and buy every console. He said, I remember she got the instant verification valid question. I watched her stream too. Right? Like that was it. That was literally the only question. And like and ever since then, like my wife just doesn't, and she's also a content creator and podcaster. Speaking of which, we actually interviewed the creator and writer of Dragons, was it Dota? what is it? The show that came out, Dota, Dragon's Blood. So Ashley Edward Miller, like we interviewed him, and I hope to put that out for the Cast Nova podcast and for Podcast Across Worlds later on this week. But outside of that, and reactions and anime and manga reviews, like she just stopped being on social media because of that. And it's like, yeah, I'm going on a tangent. That happens on this podcast. Anyway. Red says I have Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Switch, Game PC, SteamDeck, and more. Bossed up. So starting Squads Win says I'm starting community, and I know one day the hate and cancel culture will come from you too. It's not avoidable. Like literally, it'll come at you for nothing. Like you can, even when you avoid it, it comes at you. I've gotten people made Twitter posts about me today, literally today, because my thumbnails have like the surprise face. And I know some people hate that, but when this is your full-time career, YouTube, podcasting, tech reviews, game reviews, I'm doing this as a passion and also to put food on the table for my family. And if YouTube's algorithm to push your content means you got to do that, big ups to the folks who don't have to do that. But not everyone is fortunate to not have to play with the algorithm. Some folks can go months without uploading anything and come back and everyone's there. I don't have that. Hell, I've taken a big the last 3 to 4 weeks that it took us to move out of the old house into this condo, and me not making content like I was, I took a major hit. Like my stuff has hurt. So anyways, yeah, I just can't take breaks. I wish I could, but I can't. It's RIP Sega. Dreamcast is still my favorite console. Dreamcast 2, aka GameCube. Man, if you love Sega, if you're a Sega fan, watch Uncle from Another World that's on Netflix. That is such a love letter to Sega fans. Yeah, Squads Win. I got to befriend, and my wife and I, we got to interview Ashley Edward Miller for Netflix's Dota Dragon's Blood, and just really deep dive. I just need him to verify everything is cool to push out. I mean, the video has been sitting since September 12th. I'm just waiting on him to give the okay for me to push it out. It said, Red Gordon said, they said his face be like this on the, yeah. Oh, one dude, he went so far as to say like, oh, like, dude took the biggest nut. He was nutting an orgasm and took a screenshot or took a selfie in the middle of it. And then he put that on his thumbnail. I'm like, damn, don't talk that kind of dirty shit about me. It ain't that serious. Oh, good Lord. Mar Elowin says, Sup, Mikhail? First time watching live. I feel like as long as there's console exclusives, there will also be console wars. I own all systems and just pure gamer. Can't we all just get along? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Aloha and welcome. Hopefully you're having a good time here. That's my thoughts too. That's my thoughts too. It's just kind of funny that oof. I know, right? I'm just, I had the mental image. I'm like, do I make that face in the middle of? I'm like, I need to go ask my wife. Like, Lehua, do I make that face? anyways, we getting off topic. Hopefully y'all had a good time. I look to see y'all on the next time we do this podcast. Next time we chop it up. Hopefully I have more things to talk about. I will hit up Juan back now, aka Some Gadget Guy, to come on the podcast. I know he's always down. I hit him up to come on. I know Nihongo Gamer. I've actually interviewed him before on my main podcast, the Casanova podcast. He also is very big on the Steam Deck right now. I could ask him to come back on to talk about it. I think my friend History Behind a Warrior has a Steam Deck too. I don't know if he talks about it, but I could hit him up to come on. And yeah, I'll hit up Games Reveal, Nerd Nest, Deck Ready, High Tech Low Life, Fan the Deck, and even Steam Deck HQ. I know like they're like a good resource for a lot of Steam Deck stuff. So I definitely want to hit up the Steam Deck community to come on and talk about it and do more of this podcast because like Nerd Nest, he's got his thing every week, and that was actually, I'll be honest, like that. He's really the big inspiration for that. So, or for this podcast, but outside of that, hopefully y'all had a good time. Catch y'all on the next one. Like the video, sub if you haven't already, and also catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Pretty soon I have it on Stitcher, TuneIn. I'll probably have it on iHeartRadio before the week is over as well. So it'll be available on every major platform. All that being said, catch y'all on the next one. Peace out. I need to figure out how I want to end this because I don't know how. But yeah. Had a great time. And welcome to all of you who have joined the Discord. If you haven't already, I'll drop the link again. Hop on into Discord. And I'll see y'all on the next one.